open your green packet to correct the assignment. Yesterday's assignment was to complete page 17, problems 9 through 16. So let's take a look. Problem number 9, the answer was 3 and 29 over 24, which was an improper fraction. And we needed to change it to simplify it to 4 and 5 24ths. Question number 10 was 7 and 10 twelfths, and we would have simplified it to 7 and 5 sixths. Question number 11 is 8 and 42 over 72, and you would have simplified it to 8 and 7 over 12. Question 12, the answer is 9 and 32 over 42, and you would have simplified it to 9 and 16 over 21. Question 13, the answer is 5 and 9 sixths. You would have simplified it to 6 1/2. Question 14 was 16 and 48 over 54, and you would have simplified that to 16 and 8 ninths. Question number 15, the answer was 7 and 67 over 72. The answer to number 16 was 15 and 31 over 30. You would have simplified it to 16 and 1/30. Time to correct our white packet. So please open up your white practice packet to day 11 that was due today. Take a look at number 1. The first thing I would have done would have been to solve this left side. So I would have put 5 over 1. So 4 times 5 is 20 over 5. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So the left side equals 4, the right side equals 5, so 5 is greater than 4. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2, remember when I divide, I keep the first number, so I'm going to put it over 1, and I multiply by the reciprocal. So times 5 over 1. So I have 2 over 1 times 5 over 1, which is 10 over 1, which is the same number as 10. Question number 3, we needed to simplify. So I know that 9 goes into both of these, so I would divide them both by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 27 divided by 9 is 3. My answer is 1/3. Moving up to question number 4. How many times does 11 go into 5? Well, 0. So now we need to go to the next number. How many times does 11 go into 55? Put a 5 above your 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. And now let's subtract. Bring down your 9. How many 11s are in 9? Well, we would say there are 0 11s in 9. 0 times 11 is 0. 9 minus 0 is 9. So my answer is 50 and 9 11ths. Moving to the last question, I'm just adding, going straight down. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Bring down my decimal. 6 plus 5 is 11. Put my 1, carry my 1. 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So my answer is 61 and 8 tenths. Good morning. Today I need you to open up your green packet and go ahead and get out a pencil and do each problem with me. We're going to start with page 18 today, and this week we're practicing subtracting fractions. Go ahead and look at number 1 on page 18. Notice we have 4 sevenths minus 1/2 for problem number 1. The first step when solving subtracting fractions problems is to find a common denominator. So what we're going to want to do is find a common denominator. We're going to think, what do 7 and 2 both go into? I know that they both go into 14, so I'm going to make 14 as my common denominator. On the top, 7 times 2 is 14, so 4 times 2 is 8. Down at the bottom, 2 times 7 is 14, so 1 times 7 is 7. Now we're going to subtract our numerators. 8/14 minus 7/14 is 1/14. And in this fraction, we can't simplify anymore. So the answer to number 1 on page 18 is 1/14. Don't forget you're solving this in your packet with me. Now let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2, we have 6/9 minus 2/5. Again, we need to find a common denominator, a number that 9 and 5 both go into evenly. I know that I can multiply 9 times 5 and get a denominator of 45. So let's multiply the top. 9 times 5 is 45. 6 times 5 is 30. Now let's multiply the bottom. 5 times 9 is 45. 2 times 9 is 18. Now my next step is to subtract 30 minus 18, which would give us 12 over 45. And my last step is to simplify. So I know that I can divide these both by 3, because if I add the digits, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 divides by 3. 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 divides by 3. So both of these I can divide by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 45 divided by 3 is 15. So my answer is 4/15. Let's move along and complete problem number 3. Problem number 3, I have 4/5 minus 7/9. Again, I can use 45 as my common denominator. So 5 times 9 is 45. 4 times 9 is 36. Down at the bottom, 9 times 5 is 45. 7 times 5 is 35. Now I'm going to subtract. 36 minus 35 is 1 over 45. And again, it's already in simplest form. Man, I can't tell you how important it is to know your facts when solving each of these problems. Please, please, please make sure you're practicing your facts each and every day. And math will get easier and easier for you. Go ahead to turn to number 4, please. Number 4, we have 7/9 minus 1/3. We can use 9 as a common denominator for both problems. So 9 times 1 is 9. 7 times 1 is 7. The bottom 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract my numerator. 7 minus 3 is 4/9. So the answer to number 4 is 4/9. Please go ahead and finish problems 5 through 16 on the rest of page 18. Again, problems 5 through 16 are due tomorrow.